Hi everybody, Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts here. Give me just 2 seconds to make sure that I'm like where I'm supposed to be. Um, I go live all the time and I am still always nervous about it. Um, Make sure we got
I am still always
okay.
nervous about it.
That. Alright. Hello Maureen. So I have my phone up here so I can see comments, and I'll kind of try to watch the comments and respond in real time. But anyway, I'm going to start over. Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. I do crafts of all kinds, paper crafting, card making. I make t-shirts. But I am also a Chalk Couture independent designer, so that is my capacity here today with you all, and I'm super excited to be here for the first time. And we are going to make this little Happy Thanksgiving shiplap sign. Oh, I forgot to turn that off. 1 second. I'm going to see if I can change a setting on my camera so it will stop doing that little autofocus thing. If I remember how I did that the last time. Oh, never mind. I don't remember how I did it the last time, so I don't want to take forever to do it. So I apologize. My primary camera is going to end up doing some autofocus stuff because I forgot to turn that off. So it annoys me. Other people may not even notice it, but it annoys me. Nebraska, Mount Prospect, Illinois. I am in Chatham, just outside of Springfield. Northern California, Orlando. I love seeing where everybody's from, but I need to jump in because I talk a lot and everything always takes me longer than I think it's going to because I talk a lot. So we're going to get moving. Two things I wanted to mention before I get started because I know I'll come to the end and then forget. I do still have kits left. So if you did not purchase a kit before the show and realize after the fact that you would like to try this project and want to purchase one, I do still have kits left. And I forgot to put it in my description before I went live. Comments, I will put all commenters in a drawing for a kit from today and separately for a kit for November's class. So that's the giveaway for today. We're going to do a couple of different things. I think I should have time. We're going to just do the project straight, one color. I'm going to add the bow. I've got some little embellishments here to add on like this. And then I should have time to show you all how to apply chalk couture paste to one design using multiple colors. So I would actually love to know in the comments, Joanna, I don't know if I can do a sneak peek at November. I can tell you it's a card kit, but I'm not sure that I'm allowed to share any more than that. So yeah, to apply chalk in multiple colors. So I'd love to know in the comments how many of you are familiar with chalk couture, have heard of it, have used the product. How many of you have no idea what I'm even talking about, and I'll be able to show you all that. Oh, my paste is all the way over here. What is it doing all the way over there? I need it here. Okay. So we're going to start again with just applying paste to a design one color. And so in your kit, for those of you who purchased, and thank you everybody for purchased, love chalk, looks fun, haven't tried it, have no idea what you're talking about, heard of it but never used, that's great. Those of you who've used it before, if there are questions in the comments that I missed, I'm looking at my camera, not at my phone, not at the camera. So if there are questions in the comments that I missed, please feel free to answer for folks. I have no problem with that. In your kit, you got this 5x7 shiplap sign, And this also comes in a 9x12. If I have time before we're done, I will show you a project I did using the larger sign. You got the transfer, the 5x7 transfer in Chalk Couture World. These are called A-size transfers. And then you got 3 packets of paste. Everybody got a shimmer copper. And then I added in 2 other colors so that if you felt so inclined or already knew how to do this with multiple colors, you would have a couple of colors to play around with. No idea, don't know. Washington State. Carol McKinney, and not very good at it. You know, it takes some patience. I always tell people that it's simple, but not easy. It took me a while. Like, I was probably a designer for maybe 6 months before I got brave enough to try doing something with multiple colors. And I've been a designer for about 1.5 years now, and I'm getting very comfortable with all of the various techniques, but it does take some patience. It takes practice. I think the thing is what I tell people, and definitely pushes you into that willingness to be imperfect in your crafting. And I'm gonna switch my view over. I'm watching myself in OBS, but it doesn't tell me how long I've been live, so I'm gonna watch myself on Facebook. So we've got our little shiplap sign, and we've got our transfer, and I'm just gonna cut these open. There is a sticky part on the bottom of the transfer packaging that you can use to open it, but it drives me crazy. The sticky drives me crazy, so I always just cut mine open from the top. And then for those of you who are unfamiliar with the product, this is a silkscreen transfer. So think stencil, but it has mesh in the negative space. So you can't stick your finger like all the way through it like you can with a stencil. And then the back is sticky. And part of the reason for that is to help the transfer stick onto your surface and stay so that you don't have bubbles or areas where it lifts and then you get bleed. However, you don't want it so sticky that when you pull up your transfer from your surface, you end up with a situation where you pull the paste up. So we have this very technical process called fuzzing. So if you're doing anything non-textile, you're going to want to fuzz the transfer. Now this is a chalk fuzzing cloth. You do not have to have one of these. You can use a microfiber cloth. You can use a cotton t-shirt. You can use terry cloth, anything that's not going to leave fibers on the back of your transfer. 6 to 8 times is probably enough. I'm doing this more just because I'm talking while I'm doing it. And some of it depends on the surface. So this shiplap sign is actually a very smooth surface. If this were straight wood or some of our other chalk wood surfaces, I would be fuzzing it more or using our surface wax. But it's a nice smooth surface, so it requires a little less fuzzing. Now I'm going to put this design as far to the bottom as I can to leave room at the top for our ribbon. And I'm just going to press it down, make sure I don't have any bubbles. And then even though, oh, I can see comments over here. Oh, that's good. I don't always, Joanna, oh no, patience. Yeah, it does require a little patience. Oh, good. So I'm going to stop doing that on my phone. A lot of times when I do this, I can't see the comments. So hopefully that'll stick with me and I can actually see it. I'm going to use the paste packet because I want to show you all how to open it and then kind of like how to seal it back up, because you can get more than one use out of this. I usually knead it a little bit. You all can't see me doing that. Can you all see me doing that? I gotta watch my OBS feed. I usually knead it a little bit just to be sure that I have it nice and smooth. And then I take it and we're going to cut it open from the bottom so that you don't lose this thing at the top that tells you what color you've got. So, and then I'm going to push it down a little bit and we're going to cut it at a corner. Try and make sure you don't get any on your fingers. Talk about messy crafter, yeah. And you don't usually need a whole lot unless you're doing a big project. So you're just gonna push a little bit of the paste out onto, this is just a little chalk drip tray. If you have like a paint palette, you can use just a plate. Like you don't have to have anything special for this. Eyeball this. A little goes a long way, although I do want to get a little bit more out of there. Come on, cooperate. There we go, that's probably more than enough. And then to close it back up, try to get it on my tray. Oh, see, I got more than I wanted. That's all right. To close it back up, I usually take a paper towel and kind of wipe off the edge, and then I keep the paper towel and then I just kind of try to fold it down onto itself until I get it closed. If you have any paste like spit out, try to wipe it off. And then I will close this up. I didn't think to get one out before, but I will close this up with a binder clip and then put it in a like Ziploc bag or something like that. And this will keep. I mean, I just realized the other day I have one that I opened like 2 months ago that still feels fine. And if it dries out, you can reactivate it with some distilled water. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. And then the other thing that came in your kit was a squeegee. This is the mini squeegee. And then the squeegees come in 2 sizes. This is the small. I cut these up a lot because sometimes I need something a little bit smaller than this but bigger than this. So I have a whole mess of cut up squeegees in my little box over here. And then you're just gonna get a little bit of the paste on your squeegee. And then I start in the middle and work my way out. And you're just gonna cover your negative space. You don't necessarily need to cover it so much that you can't see it. But you do want to make sure that you're covering all of it. Don't worry about using too much because you're going to squeegee off any excess. And I have had paste in a drip tray that I have done just put the drip tray inside a little Ziploc bag and it's kept. So like if I've mixed colors together, or if I've been doing the hot mess technique, which is one of the techniques I hope to have time to show you all, and I have more paste left over, I'll take the tray and put it inside a Ziploc bag, and that has kept for me for probably maybe up to a week, where I, might have to spray a little distilled water in it to reactivate it, but I can still use it. a lot of times if I'm working with paste packs instead of my jars, or if I'm doing hot mess, I will try to have a couple of little projects handy that I can get done so that I have something to use that excess paste with. Just gonna go along, and now I'm gonna scrape off my excess. Just to try to keep from having any lines in the design. And then you're going to very slowly, and as much as you can from the middle and not on a diagonal, you're going to pull up the transfer. Now if you go slow enough, if your paste lifted or if you missed a spot, you can catch it and you can put your transfer back down real quick and go over that space again. And then you've got your design on your surface. Just check for comments or questions. Everything I do is a hot mess. Yeah, I can relate to that. I'm not sure if y'all could see what my t-shirt says. It says more issues than Vogue. It's a chalk transfer that came out last year, and it's one of my all-time favorites. It's just too funny. You can use transfers on textiles. You would use ink for that instead of paste. And then because we're going to add a little something to this, I'm going to dry it real quick with my drying tool. The name of the paste is actually chalk paste. It's from Couture. It's Chalkology. So Chalk has their own line of paste and ink that you can use with the transfers and the surfaces. Now you can chalk on anything. You don't have to have a chalk surface to be able to use it. We kind of have a joke that if it stands still, you can chalk on it. So you can chalk on wood, acrylic, glass, any kind of fabric, plastic, cardstock. What have I been chalking on lately? You can chalk on leather as long as it's not the coated leather. It has to be raw leather. You can chalk on cork fabric, cardboard. I would suggest that if you are just starting out that you use a couple of chalk surfaces or something like that. And we can just see your work desk. Can we just see your work desk? Let me see if I can do that. Give me 1 second. Let me hop over into okay. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. I am switching to a different format for live video. So yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. What was I saying? Oh, if you're just starting out, I advise using chalk surfaces just because they're a little easier, a little more forgiving. Like I would never tell somebody new to chalk on cardboard because you have to know your technique. You have to know how much paste you need. You have to know how quickly it dries. You have to know whether or not you would need ink or wax, that sort of thing. But once you've kind of gotten used to it, you can chalk on anything. And that it dries pretty fast, which is also one of the things that is part of the learning techniques. You can buy the kits. The kits are on my Etsy store, so I will post a link in the comments of this video or on the page. There was a link in the pre-show information as well. Okay, so now we're going to do ribbon. I turned on my hot glue gun. I'm going to tell you all now, ribbons are not exactly my best thing. I am learning with ribbon, so for those of you who are really good at ribbon, this might be incredibly painful for you to watch, so I apologize now. But I have this cute pumpkin ribbon that I got from Michael's, so that's going to be, let's see, and then I said this was going to be my second layer. So we're just going to do a messy bow, because again, I don't do, we're going to do this one. I can do a real bow. It takes me forever. And I didn't think a real bow was kind of the look I was going for on that anyway. Orange. And then the lacy ribbon. So all this ribbon came from Michael's. The pumpkin was a roll, and I think all of the rest of these were just, those bundles that you can get. So nothing special or hard to find, although at this point, whether or not you can still find fall themed ribbon, I have no idea. This might be end up being a little too big. This is the ribbon pieces are 9 inches. Since the board, I usually try to go 2 inches longer than the surface. Layer my ribbon. This is my default too, because this is the only kind of bow that I feel like I can actually do fairly well. I made a door sign last year for a girlfriend of mine. It was a replica of a door sign that we have, and I wish I could have kept the bow that I put on it, because it was a real bow, and I don't know how I got it to look the way I got it to look, but I was like, I'm never going to be able to make a bow like that again. So I like to use zip ties to tighten up my bows in the center. Sometimes you can't, because the fastener on the zip tie is going to end up being problematic, but it worked out on the test ribbon I did on this one, so I think it'll be okay. So we're going to flip this over. And hopefully everything stays in place. That's also my other problem. Everything starts to move around on me. Tighten that up. And then kind of move everything around. Try to flatten this out a little bit. This pumpkin ribbon is cute, but it's awfully big. Okay. And then give it a good shake. And then I can fan it out when it's all done. And then I cut the end off the zip tie. And then to get this to do what I want it to do, I kind of move the fastener so that it's close to what will either be the bottom or the top of the ribbon, depending on how it works when I try to lay it down. Yeah, I think that, okay, so in hindsight, I think that pumpkin might have been a little bit too big. And then to wrap around the center, I've either got this or, yeah, I think we're going to go with this one. So we're gonna use this to wrap around the center to cover up the zip tie. Lay flat. So I'm gonna flip this over. Maybe. All day I was like, you're gonna end up forgetting to turn on your glue gun. And I actually remembered. Because I often do that. I forget to turn on my glue gun to let it get heated. To let it heat up. So we're gonna glue this down to the inside of the bow and kind of let it adhere a little bit to that zip tie. And then I'm going to cut it maybe about there, because what I then end up doing is I'll fold this in a little bit and glue the ribbon to itself. And then that gives a little bit of, I don't know, padding, I guess, cushion against that, the fastener on that zip tie. And it kind of then gives the ribbon something to stick to when you stick it to the surface. So we're going to glue that. Glue that down like that. Yeah, I like the messy bows too. Like for door signs and stuff, for door rounds, I think the traditional bows look really nice, but for this kind of stuff, I love the messy bows. And I'm just better at them. So I'm not going to put the bow on yet because I want to add some of our other embellishments, and I don't want the bow to get in the way. And it's going to cover quite a bit of, even with moving the transfer down all the way to the bottom, it's going to cover quite a bit. You do have a little bit of room where you could bring it up to the top. But a smaller bow probably would have been better. I am going to attach this with score tape instead of hot glue because I tried to put, my other project that I used the shiplap sign for, I tried to put a bow on it with hot glue, and this is a very slick surface, and that bow just popped right off. And I use score tape a lot for stuff, and so I used score tape on my sample with the ribbon and it worked fine, and I have score tape on my other project, so that's what we're going to use to attach that. And then these are Couture embellishments. These just came out, so I bought them just to try them out. Price point wise, they're a decent price compared to what you can get elsewhere, but you can get these kinds of things anywhere. I used a bunch of the fall color ones on the sample that I made. So we're going to actually do something a little different on the Happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to use on this one, I'm going to use some of the rhinestones and actually no, I'm going to use some of the little pearl ones. And this is just a way when you're one color designs are beautiful. They're very simple, but they're gorgeous. I love all of our shimmer colors. So it's not to say that one color designs need jazzing up, but if you're doing a one color design or any kind of color design, this is a way to kind of jazz up a project. I like simple. I tend to lean towards simple projects. And I like being able to take something simple and just add some embellishments to it that don't take a lot of effort. I am a messy crafter. I'm not a lazy crafter, but I don't like, that first one came off nice and easy with my tweezers, but I don't like I don't like projects that take me like 6 hours to finish. And part of that might just be, you know, when you're prepping for a craft show or something like that, I don't have 6 hours to spend on a single project. Every once in a while, I'll, you know, get an idea and it's something that takes me days to finish, but most of the time I like it if I can get it done in 15 minutes. Oh, these look really nice. I was wondering about these pearls, if they would really just maybe blend a little bit too much. But actually I think they look really pretty. So I'm not gonna, you know, put too many more on here just because this was just for idea purposes. And also I kind of struggle with where to put them. I'm gonna put you like in the middle. Okay. So, you know, you can add as much to that or as little as you would like, none at all if, you know, if you don't think it needs anything. And then we are going to, I'm going to use my, I want to use my skinny score tape. Where's my skinny score tape? So if you're not familiar with score tape, it comes on rolls like this. It comes in just a whole mess of widths. This is 5/8. This is 1/8, I think. I think it goes all the way up to 2 inches wide. It's fantastic. I will, however, warn you, if you are using it, especially for like paper crafting embellishments, I use it for card making, especially this 1/8 of an inch for little bitty things where I don't want to deal with glue. You want to make sure you are really ready for something to be placed, because man, once it hits that surface, it does not move. It is double-sided, so you just put it, I can't even see me doing that. You just put it down and then pull the backing off. And then I am going to turn this towards me so I can see where I want this. I'm going to try to go up just a smidge off the edge. And then just push down on it a little bit. And I mean, that bow is, and I'm pulling, and that bow is not going anywhere. So then you have this, and you can put this in an easel. You can attach twine or ribbon to the back of it so that it hangs. You could attach hanging hardware to the back of this if you wanted to so that it hangs. So you've got all kinds of options for that. So there's that with the single color. Yes, it is strong tape. And yes, Anna, I agree with you. I wish we could have fall colors all the time. I love the fall colors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you, of course I have to open the package. I need my baby wipes. I'm going to show you how to do, where is my, sorry, I'm looking. Okay, I moved things around and now I don't know. I don't know where I put my other surfaces and transfers. I had them out earlier. There's one of the other transfers. Oh, right here. Put my little chair next to me. So I just grabbed two other surfaces. They're actually ones I've already used, so I'm just going to use the other side. And I am going to show you Hot Mess first. Because, to be honest, if this is how I learned, this is the first technique I started with multiple colors because I wasn't quite brave enough for paste and peel. And I have about 10 minutes. Hot mess shouldn't take me that long. So if you go on YouTube and search Chalk Couture hot mess or Chalk Couture, oh shoot, there's another word for it now, I can't remember. You'll find all kinds of videos, including some of mine, on how to do this technique. Marbling technique. But it's one of my favorites. It's just an amazing way to blend colors together. So this is just another surface. I didn't want to use up all of my shiplap signs. And you just apply it the same way. I do need to open my baby wipes because I'm going to need them to clean my fingers. Now, you can do what I'm getting ready to show you with squeegees. And that's actually how I started doing it. I do it now with my fingers. You don't need baby wipes, so you can use Clorox wipes, or I wouldn't use paper towels because paper towels might leave fibers on your fingers and you don't want that when you're doing this. And what did I pull out here? So I pulled out our Shimmer Gold, Napa, and I think I'm going to use Hey Pumpkin. And, I'm going to throw a little black in there. So for hot mess, you put your transfer down, you get your colors, and what you start to do, and I'm going to stir these up just a little bit. So these jars of paste last forever. If they start to dry out, you can reactivate them with distilled water. It is recommended that you stir them if you haven't used them in a while. The transfers clean up with water and they're multi-use, so you should be able to get 8 to 12 uses out of a transfer depending on basically how well you take care of it. So you all can't see, but I have water baths over here so that I can drop my transfers in water right away because when I'm live I can't stop to clean them. So you're just going to take your first color and you're just going to start with your finger or a squeegee to make circles on your transfer. Now, the one thing that I have a tendency to do is not make enough circles. And so when I start to pull the paste through, I end up having places where I can't cover because I didn't put enough. So just bear that in mind when you try that. Probably do more circles than you think you need. Because with the last color, you can start to actually blend together because you're not going to be sticking your finger back in jars of paste. So you want to wipe off your finger in between and try not to get paste in your jar. Is the paste different? No, the paste is the same. This is just, I'm just using jars and not paste packs. Not all of the colors that are available come in paste packs. Chalk Couture has a color of the month, and at this point those are never available in a paste pack. So this Napa was a color of the month. Those come out on the 1st of every month. Sometimes we get them as permanent colors, sometimes not. There are a lot of colors in the paste packs, I will say. I mean, it's a good variety. But as a designer, because I do this so much, I just buy mine in jars. Two things that I wanted to tell everybody about. Well, actually 3 things. Chalk is having an autumn sale right now, 70% off all autumn transfers. That includes Halloween. And then there's 2 programs with chalk, and I'll put links to my chalk site. If you already have a designer, please shop with that designer. But if you don't, and you're interested in, you know, checking out the website or anything like that, I will put a link to my site in the comments. And then there is a Club Couture program. It's a project-based program. You get a complete project shipped to you every month. And the project that I used the other shiplap sign for was the October Club project, so I'm hoping I can show that to you all before I'm finished. And I may not actually have room for black in here because I actually did this right and probably did enough dots on there. So once you're done putting a kind of first layer of circles, you're just going to start blending them together. Oh, my fan. No rhyme or reason, no particular order. Now, you don't want to blend so much that they turn brown, although with these colors they're going to look brown anyway. But the trick is not to overblend. And this is where I always end up realizing I didn't make enough circles because I'm trying to cover everything and my paste isn't covering. So you want to make sure that you get everything blended in. So Club Couture, again, sorry, it's a club program project shipped to you every month. It's $21.99 a month. Very cute projects. Some are textiles, so you get the ink. They're exclusive, so the kits are not available for retail purchase. And then you're going to take a squeegee, and then you're going to start to just squeegee off the excess. And then I clean off my squeegee as I go because this ends up being a lot of excess paste. So when I was talking about how when I do hot mess, I end up with paste in a tray, I will just either have something small ready to go to use that paste with, or I will put that drip tray in, or color tray I think is what they're actually called, in a Ziploc bag, and it will keep for me for a little bit. And then turn this around so you all can see it, and come up from the corner. I'm trying not to touch the transfer so I don't end up getting paste everywhere. Real slow. And so then you've got this design with all of the colors that you used. The company is the paste they use. Yes, Chalk makes their own paste. So they make their own paste, they make their own inks, the transfers and the surfaces. And Marna, if that didn't answer your question, let me know. So I gotta switch over so I can see what I'm looking at. Yep. So this is how I started to blend multiple colors for the first time, because it just seemed so much easier to me. And then the other technique is called paste and peel, but I only technically have 10 seconds left, so I am going to hold that And in November, I will show you all how to do the paste and peel technique. Yeah, it does turn out really pretty. It doesn't, I mean, I think it's because of the mesh in the stencil that like prevents it from all turning brown. Now, if I had kept blending those circles a little bit too much, it would have gotten that way. But I think the mesh kind of helps just certain amounts of colors come through. And so I'll show you all paste and peel in November with the cards. One other thing I wanted to tell you about is Chalk does have it's kind of a membership program. It's called Perks. It's $20 a month, but you get that $20 back in product credit, and you shop at a 30% discount all the time. So that 70% sale that's going on right now, as a Perks member, you would get another 30%, on top of that. The only thing better is a designer, which is 40%. And so that's another, kind of option. It's a great deal. I like Club, so if you sign up for Club and Perks, you get 30% off the Perks or the Club pricing too, so it makes it like 17 something a month. And then just real quick, so this is, and I need to see okay, so this is this chalkable shape, and then the transfer that had everything on it was the October Club project. Now the surface didn't come with it. You got the gingerbread person and the transfer. This is the 9x12 shiplap sign, and then I added the bow, very much, like we did today. This was the bow that I tried to add with hot glue, and that thing just popped right off. But this is just kind of an example of a club project. I don't have my November club project yet, so I haven't actually made that. So, okay, that is everything. Thank you all so much for watching. I will put all of the relevant links, including how to purchase this kit, in the comments or in a post or both. I will be drawing names from the commenters for a free kit from this class and a free kit for November. And then I will see you all next month. Thank you everybody for watching.